Hello, agents. Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights aims to give you the latest news and updates about the Niantic Spatial game Ingress. Whether you're a veteran agent who has recursed 17 times or a brand new agent working to level 8, wondering what a fracker is, this is your place for the latest Ingress news and discussions. 2026 sees Ingress renewed under Niantic Spatial and many new campaigns to engage agents. So, plenty to discuss. Share any thoughts by checking our social media links. Now, over to Ada.
Additional intel available.
Hello, agents. Welcome to episode 152 of the Ingress Insights podcast. In this week's episode, we're going over the Orion Global Op and the new medals we've got, as well as the results for first Saturday. And then also discussing what we've got going in Ingress. We've got some interesting things coming up next month and beyond. And then finally, a little bit of sad news about Peridot, Niantic Spatial's other game they had available. So we'll get into the Anomaly news and talk about Orion first of all. I discussed the Orion Global Op last episode. It's already started out. It started on the 24th of April at 6 p.m. UTC. It finished on the 11th of May at, obviously, 6 p.m. UTC. This is when Niantic tend to run these things until. So for myself, I've been progressing a little bit. It's all about making links and fields, destroying links as well. As for my progress, I'm still on the first round of assignments, where it's having 100 all-time Orion link and field points, then 200, then 500, and 1,000. I've not yet hit 100, but when I do, that'll be 500 Orion tokens towards my medal on there. And then if we complete all 4 of those, then it's obviously the bronze for the global op, and so on there to get the silver and the gold. I should be able to do it. I've still got another 15 days. So just a case of making lots of links, lots of fields where I can, and blowing up links and fields as well. So this one's fairly straightforward. At the minute as I'm looking at it, it's 50.2% to the resistance on there and 49.8% to enlighten. So it's pretty balanced at the moment. Whether that will remain the same at the end of the 15 days, I don't know. This is your chance to kind of help out your faction though, because you get 1,000 season points split on there. So the more you can do, obviously it helps you towards your global op and helps your team towards their final score in the Orion Anomaly series. So do get out and do it if you can. One of the other ways you can help earn some season points for Orion is by attending First Saturday. And the Ingress team posted up the results for First Saturday on the 22nd of April. These being the ones for the first Saturday in April. It's a close run thing on there. So Resistance had 1,236 attendees at their first Saturdays in total. Enlightened had 1,328 at their events in total. So therefore, it was 123.6 Orion season points to Resistance and 132.8 points to Enlightened on there. So Enlightened are leading at the moment on that. Last time, I think I mentioned, or maybe the time before, about there being no supporter medals and extra character medals in the Orion announcement. Those have now been added to the post. So if you go back and look at the main post on there, they've added the Orion supporter, Orion Core Supporter Badge. Those are available at the moment. And then we have the Akira Tsuka 2026 badge to come, the Victor Cariz 2026 badge, and the Hank Johnson 2026 badge. None of them been mentioned for previous medals on there. Sometimes you get one that's a throwback from like 2018, 2019. We've not had those yet. As I mentioned, the supporter badges are available. So for 30,800 CMU, you get an Orion supporter medal and 5 very rare portal shields. If you've got core and you've got a spare 30,800 CMU, that gets you the Orion Core Supporter Medal and 5 Aegis Shields on there. Totally up to you if you think they're worth it and you want to get it on there, or maybe you want to wait until the character medals. I would assume the medals are all available until the end of June when we end this Anomaly season. So if you want to just wait and see if anything better comes along, then you can do that. There's no real rush with it at the moment. That is about it for the Orion stuff at the moment. We've got a few things coming up. There's no actual anomalies on the ground until middle of May. So we do have a little while to wait for those to kick off. In the meantime, your focus should be the Orion Global Op to try and help out your faction. So I'll move into the general Ingress news now. Firstly, just a reminder, hopefully you don't need it because this kind of looks very pretty at the moment with cherry blossoms and things like that. But the Sakura Blossom Festival is coming to an end, so you've got a few days left of that to earn the medals on there and also go through and get the wings on the medals for 2021 if you got them before, or if not, purchase them on there and do the short little campaigns to earn those. It runs until the 30th of April 2026 at 6 p.m. UTC. And it's just a case of going through the campaigns. You can go through and redo one of the campaigns, the Sakura Blossom event, just if you want extra items on there. So I'm currently on a run through of that again, assignment 3 out of 5. So I've got to deploy some more resonators, create some more links, and create some more fields. Should be pretty easy to do. And if you complete the Sakura Blossom one, you get 3,000 Orion tokens, which helps towards obviously getting the Season Anomaly medal on there. But the rest of them don't give the extra Orion tokens. They'll just either give you the medals or give you the wings on the medals if you've got them from 2021. Looking on there, I've done all the tasks I need for the 2021 medals, but I'm not going to be buying them. I'm not too fussed on wings on those. Other ones, maybe, but I'm okay with those ones for now. The Ingress team did put up a new post about a new redux that's going on to get wings on medals and again earn them if you didn't before. So this is the Nemesis Challenge Redux. Agents and NIA researchers have identified a localized resurgence of the Nemesis signal signatures. This temporal echo designated Nemesis Challenge Redux provides a month-long window to intercept the returning energy of the 3 banished operatives, Myriad, Umbra, and Courier. Procedures from the 1st of May at 6 p.m. UTC to the 1st of June at 6 p.m. UTC. The dispatch system will host 3 concurrent campaigns. Completion of these bans will allow agents to earn or upgrade these specific medals to the gold tier. Agents who already hold the gold medal will get an upgrade with the prestigious recursion wing. So one of these is free, the other 2 cost 15,000 CMU each. So Nemesis Myriad Redux is a free one on there. Track the Myriad signature through portal hacks and unique portal hacks. Completing the initial stage upgrades the Myriad medal and yields up to 3,000 Orion tokens. And you can again check to see what you need to down to progress that up. So free campaign, you're getting 3,000 Orion tokens if you complete it, and a badge or wings on a badge. So I think that's pretty good for free. You got a whole month to do it. Nemesis Redux Umbra costs 15,000 CMU. Investigate Umbra shadow traces through resonator deploys. Saturating that with energy allows agents to upgrade the Umbra medal or get the recursion wing as the portals hum with her shadowy resonance. And then finally, we've got the Nemesis Redux Courier, again 15,000 CMU. Catalyze the courier's mission by shattering hostile resonators. This destruction interposes his journey across worlds, allowing agents to secure the courier medal or recursion wing. For me, I've not got all of these to gold. I did participate. I think I may have one of them at gold, but it was when I, to be honest, didn't know what I was really doing in Ingress and had a bit of time limited things to do it on there. So I'm quite eager to get them at gold and have them look a lot shinier and better. We do get some additional bonuses during May as well. So to facilitate these operations, the NIA has authorized several global scanner recalibrations for the duration of the event. So yeah, reduced portal hack cooldown patterns, don't know how long for. Experimental tuning for XMP bursts and portal shields deployed during the event window. So I'm going to pause there for a moment because we've had experimental weapon tuning for XMP bursts before. If you hold down an XMP burst on the screen, hold down the fire button, it goes up to 20% of causing some extra damage. In the experiment tuning, that goes up to 30%. So I expect that to happen again. I don't know how they'll tune the portal shields, so that'll be interesting to see what happens on there. They do say that portal shields that were previously deployed before the event window are not affected by Nemesis experimental shield tuning. So if you're about to capture a portal at 5:55 p.m. on the 1st of May, wait a moment and then get it on there. You get double AP for deploying a resonator, destroying a resonator, or capping the 8th resonator slot and fully upgrading the portal. And you also get bonus AP, who knows how much, for unique portal visits. They do say, be advised, Machina activity is expected to surge as these banished signatures grow stronger. Tips, field analysts recommend utilizing the visited portal layer in the scanner. These visual filters are the most efficient way to identify unvisited portal locations of interest for the Myriad Redux objectives. The Nemesis entities attempted to define our reality. Now it's time to define yours. Explore, build, destroy. So I'm quite happy about this one. As I say, I didn't have all the things from the Nemesis challenge. I think they all look a bit, they're kind of cool, but then they look a bit strange as well, like plastic bags pulled over the face of the final one. I think it was a cool theme they had going on, and then it kind of went nowhere, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one there and seeing what happens. So yeah, quite excited about that one. Let me know how you're feeling about it, whether you don't care, whether you're not doing the Redux. You're getting a free one anyway, so you may as well do that and get all the gear and either the wings or the badge from it. That's just my view on it. Alongside these campaigns, we do have another one coming up that's not been fully announced yet, but it was on the Intel page on the events one on there. This is the Acolyte Mother's Day 2026, and that runs from the 8th of May, 6 pm UTC to the 18th of May, 6 pm UTC, and it'll award the Acolyte Mother's Day 2026 medal after completing 3 out of 4 bounties. No idea what's the bounties in there or how it'll be involved or what the medal looks like. Then, not to be outshone, we do have a Father's Day campaign and medal coming as well, and that's for Nigel Moyer, and that runs from June the 12th, 6 pm UTC, to June the 22nd, 6 pm UTC. And similarly, that'll award the Nigel Moyer Father's Day 2026 medal after completing 3 out of 4 bounties. So we don't know whether there'll be paid ones on there, whether it'll be a free one, whether there'll be one to earn like the Mother's Day medals from previous years and Father's Day medals from previous years. Don't know, but they are coming up at some point in May and June, so do keep an eye out for those. So it means we may have 4 running during May, and then I assume we'll get a load more in June as well. I know some agents think it's too much with campaigns, but most of the time, if you're just playing how you normally play, you'll find you're clearing everything and getting progress in the campaigns as well. As this is the last podcast of April, I want to look ahead at May as a bit of a reminder on there to see what's coming up. So we've got early May is just a question mark on the campaign we're getting. I'm assuming that's the one that's for the Umbra and Nemesis ones on there. Just says the dispatch will span multiple weekends. Doesn't really give more details than that. Then we have first Saturday on the 2nd of May. You can register that through Fev Games and get a tick on your Ingress First Saturday medal, as well as having a chance to get the Ito EN campaign on there and complete that for the badge. 10th of May brings us second Sunday. So for that, make sure you've got your missions ready to do, got your scans or getting your unique portal captures on there. Personally, for me, as I said many times, I just do the scans. So I'm out exploring somewhere new. I'll stock up some scans and then upload them on second Sunday. My second Sunday is done in about 2 minutes because I did all my exploration a week or two before. So that works for me. Might not work for you, but just see what's best for you and then get a tick on your second Sunday medal to progress that. The 16th of May gives us our first Orion Anomaly. So that's in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and Prague in Czechia. Then late May, we've got a mystery dispatch operation as well that will span multiple weekends. I don't think that would include the Mother's Day campaign. I don't count the 8th as late May, so I assume we'll have something else coming up on there. And then finally for May, we've got the 30th of May, the last Orion Anomalies of May. That's in Kure City, the Hiroshima Prefecture, Japan, and Jersey City in New Jersey, USA. So if you are attending there, you can help out your faction, win the points on there. If you're not attending, make sure you're paying attention to the global op. Make sure you're attending first Saturdays to keep the attendance there for your team. Anything you can do to help the faction out if you can't attend helps you just all win the points on there and progress. And then at the minute, because there's no real lore tied to it, it's more just bragging rights at the moment. Hopefully, you do get some lore that comes into it that happens on one faction wins another, what they do on there. On second Sundays, I did raise this with the Ingress team, but if you go to the blog post, you'll see about discover and share missions, how can I view my portal history, what is a scout controller. The bottom 2 links don't link anywhere. They don't work since Ingress moved the FAQs and the support center. So you can't actually read what you need to on there. I flagged it to them. If you care, flag it to them as well. So hopefully we can get it fixed and sorted. I think that's about it for Ingress news. There is one little bit of Ingress news left, but I'm going to go into our other news first of all and link into that and talk about Peridot.
This is Jessica Jung, lead producer of Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Hey, this is Sim, Global Product Marketing Lead for Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
I thought it'd be fun to include those for kind of a one last time thing, as there was an announcement on the 23rd of April from the Peridot team to say they're saying goodbye to the Peridot mobile game. After 3 incredible years, we at Niantic Spatial are winding down the Peridot mobile game. Starting today, all in-app purchases will be disabled and items in the in-game shop will be available with remaining in-game currency. The app will be removed from the App Store and the Google Play on May 14th, 2026, and our service will officially close on August 31st, 2026. Between now and then, we hope you'll take time to be with your dots one last time, use your items, go on walks, and celebrate the creatures you've raised. They've earned it. This was not an easy decision and one we didn't make lightly. But before we explain the why, we want to take a moment to reflect on what we built together, because that part deserves to come first. We built together. When we set out to build Peridot Mobile, we wanted to create something that had never existed before, not just a game, but a living, breathing world laid on top of your own, where creatures felt genuinely real, navigating the streets, recognise surroundings, growing alongside you. We believe we did that. Peridot pushed the boundaries of what augmented reality could do on a mobile device, and in doing so created an entirely new category of spatial experiences that we could build on something so ambitious, so pioneering, so genuinely magical is something we're proud of. But what made Peridot truly special wasn't the technology, it was you. The community that formed around Peridot was unlike anything we expected, deeply connected, creatively passionate, and genuinely devoted to their dots in a way that moved us every single day. You didn't just play Peridot, you cared for it. Thank you for that. Why we're making this decision? We built Peridot for the future. From the very beginning, we dreamed of experiences that went beyond what a phone screen could offer, but we didn't want to wait for that world to arrive. We wanted to bring Peridot to life right then, meeting our community where they were, and pushing mobile as far as it could possibly go. Building Peridot the way we built it was a deliberate choice. We designed it to push the absolute limits of what the technology could do: real-time mapping, occlusion, semantic segmentation, generative AI, features that made your dot feel like it truly belonged in your world. That level of ambition came with trade-offs. An always-on AR experience is one of the most technically demanding things you can build, and keep it running well at scale for so long requires enormous investment. Over the years, and with the advance in spatial computing, our original vision began to take shape. As our team's priorities evolved, the Peridot franchise expanded beyond mobile into mixed reality with Hello Dot on headsets and a true outdoor AR wearable with Peridot Beyond on Snap spectacles. In many ways, this is exactly what we set out to build, and with that growth, it became increasingly difficult to invest in the mobile game in a way that felt worthy of the game you fell in love with. This is the right decision for our team and for the future of the Peridot franchise, and still, it's not one we came to easily or without a lot of love for what this game meant for us and for you. Your dots. We know your dots aren't just pixels, they're companions you raised, named, and spent real time with. Saying goodbye to them is the hardest part of this announcement to write, and we imagine the hardest part for many of you to read. We encourage you to save your dot cards, screenshots, and videos before the service close, and share your favourite memories with the community that made this franchise what it is. The creatures you raised and the time you gave them meant something, we won't forget that. The franchise lives on. While the mobile game is winding down, Peridot is not. Since launch, we've expanded the franchise across new platforms that bring your dots to life in ways the phone screen never could. Hello Dot transforms your living room into a play space for your companions. Peridot Beyond and Project J take them outdoors into the world by your side. We don't know exactly what comes next, only we're not ready to close the door on this franchise. We've always believed Peridot belongs in a world where the hardware matches the vision, where you can look through a pair of glasses to see your dot walking beside you down the street. That world is getting closer every day. Thank you to everyone who raised a dot, went on walk with one, or simply stopped to watch one explore your living room. Thank you. You gave 3 years of genuine love to something we poured our hearts into building. We hope we delivered a little magic into your world. We hope dots brought you joy. This isn't the end of the story, it's the end of a chapter, and we're grateful you were part of it, the Peridot team. There are some FAQs that I'm going to go through. One of them does talk about Ingress, so I'm going to go through that as well. So what are the key dates for the mobile shutdown? So 23rd of April, all in-app purchases will be disabled. Items in the in-game shop will be available with remaining in-game currency. May the 14th, the Peridot app will be moved from the App Store and Google Play Store. If you already have the app installed, you'll be able to play until the servers close. If you delete the app or get a new device after this date, you'll unfortunately be unable to re-download it. So we recommend keeping the app installed until the very end. If you've ever been around when a mobile app has closed down, Harry Potter's Night, Witcher Monster Slayer, Future Worlds of Tomorrow, you know that's generally the case, that you can keep it on your device, but you can't reinstall it in general. And then August 31st, 2026, the Peridot service will officially close. It doesn't say what time. All features will be turned off and the game will no longer be accessible. If you'd like to request your account data, so that's probably an important part, please contact our support team by July 31st, 2026 to allow us time to prepare it for you. Can I use my in-game currency and everything I've collected? Will I get a refund on purchases? So globally, players will not be able to receive a refund on past purchases except where required by law. You'll be able to expend your remaining Peridot and use your remaining items before the servers close. You want you to have plenty of time to enjoy everything collected, so make the most of it with your dots before they say goodbye. In Japan, you'll be able to spend your remaining Peridot and use your remaining items before the servers close. You can visit this page after the 31st of August 2026 for an update about unused Peridot balance at that time. I suspect that for Japan, that will be turn it into Pokemon Go coins. That's what happened with Harry Potter's Unite when that closed down. You're able to transfer your balance over to Pokemon Go coins instead. What happens to my dots when the servers close? When they close, you'll no longer be able to access those dots through the mobile game. We encourage you to save your dot cards, screenshots and videos, memories you've made of them before the servers close. We are exploring possibilities of how your creatures might carry forward into future experiences, but have no specific announcement to make it this time. Will there be any final in-game events before the servers close? Existing game events will run as normal. Use your items, go on walks, spend time with your dots before the servers close. So no, there's no fancy events for the closure or anything like that. Just carries on the same kind of cycle it's been doing for the past year and a half or so. Will Peridot be available on any mobile platform, any other platforms after the mobile game ends? Yes, it exists beyond mobile. I've already said this a few times. Hello Dot on MetaQuest 3 and Apple Vision Pro. Peridot Beyond on Snap Spectacles 5th generation. So you can still visit the website and see what's going on with it on there. It just won't be on your phone. And then final one on here, is Ingress being impacted by this decision? No, this decision was made independently and has no bearing on Ingress. Ingress remains active and will not be impacted in any way by the winding down of Peridot Mobile. This then links into a blog post from the Ingress team on the 24th of April, where they say, "Thank you for adventuring with us, Peridot Keepers. As you may have read on the Peridot blog, our Peridot team was saying goodbye to Peridot Mobile. However, Peridot will continue onward, expanding across new platforms like Hello Dot, Peridot Beyond, and Project Jade. We are working together with our Peridot team to commemorate Peridot Mobile's 3 years of community building and AR innovation and an upcoming Peridot themed campaign and limited edition medal. This free campaign and medal will soon be available to every Ingress agent, new recruit, and Peridot keeper. We're grateful for the time and care you've shared with your dots, and we welcome all Peridot keepers to check out Ingress, continue your adventures on foot with new friends." So if you do want some kind of marker memory of Peridot, you're best to play Ingress and get the medal on there, go through the campaign. It's a nice little thing to do. It's something I wish they would have been able to do with other Sunset games like NBA All World, Transformers, Qatar, lots and lots of Sunset games, but it would be nice to have some kind of memory of them. But I get they couldn't because of license, things like that. Whereas this time around, they own Peridot wholly, so they can do what they want with it. They can have the commemorative campaign and medal and go through that. So I'm interested to see how they'll tie into Peridot and what happens from there. I know Peridot did have a Monster Hunter Now crossover, strangely, but it never had an Ingress crossover. So this is the first time those two games are actually colliding on there as it closes. So it's a bit of a weird one. I think with the Peridot Mobile, it, like they said in the post, it never really got invested in after a certain point. They were more focused on the other platforms. Peridot Mobile was just left to cycle through the same events, cycle through the same gameplay loop, and it put a lot of people off when it first came out that loop in the game to hatch dots and everything was paid. The nest originally cost £5 to buy. I remember being very put off by that. Looking at it, I know a lot of people never look back at it even after they changed it to be free and got free ways to earn nests on there. It just wasn't super thrilling for me, unfortunately. I spoke obviously with Asim and Jessica about Peridot on this podcast in the past. It sounded like there were some exciting ideas, but then it did also sound like they were a lot more focused on the other platforms. Project Jade, I've seen plenty of photos of Asim wearing the Snap spectacles and playing with Peridot, so I know that's where they're headed with it. Whether we get something else with Ingress on there with AR and stuff like that, now that Ingress is the only game left that Niantic Spatial have, it'd be interesting to see how that works and what they do with it. But as they said, this decision to shut down Peridot doesn't affect Ingress, and we've got a special Peridot campaign coming at some point. If you've got any big feelings about Peridot being shut down or worried about how it'll affect Ingress, I know they said it won't, then obviously do let me know. Quite happy to hear and have a chat about things. But that is all from me for this week, Agent. So hope you have a great Sunday and happy hacking. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can do that in a couple of ways. So the easiest way to support the podcast is via Patreon. So you can find at patreon.com/Ingress Insights. And there's a free tier, a $1 a month tier, whatever that is in your local currency, and a $5 a month tier. You can check out what benefits those come with on the Patreon. One other thing you can do that's totally free that helps out a lot is rating the podcast on your podcast service of choice. So where you can leave a rating or leave comments, that always helps increase visibility. And then finally, you can follow us on various social media channels. We use most of them, but the best one to follow us on now is Blue Sky. So that's just ingressinsights.bsky.social. Search for Ingress Insights on Blue Sky, you'll find us on there. Finally, sharing the podcast with friends, family, other agents who want to listen and get updates really helps out and helps get interviews with various Ingress people or other game-related people to then increase visibility more. So anything you can do from those is great. Thanks again for listening, agents. Have a great day.
Intel package transferred.